Hey everybody. Sorry for the little snafu at the beginning. I'm not sure what happened with the intro. I had to remove it and re-add it, which probably means I'll have to remove and re-add the outro too. I don't know if it was just because I added it earlier and didn't do anything earlier. I have no idea. Um, as you guys and gals will notice as you come in here, no longer do I have the link to just click on it and come backstage. For those of you that were in here for the watch along last night for Cujo, you know why. For those of you that were not in here last night, in a nutshell, someone clicked on the link. Thank God I did not add them live. They were backstage where, again, thank God, only I could see them and they were pleasuring themselves and could see it. So I kicked them out of the studio and I, I did not add them. So therefore, people warned me about this when I started putting the link out in the main chat, and I unfortunately did not take heed. Now unfortunately, I can't do that anymore because I can't have people just deciding that they're going to come in here and cause trouble and try to shock and disturb people, which is exactly what they did. They shocked and disturbed me. It's still bothering me what I saw, and I'm just thankful that nobody else had to see it. And I see we lost one person, so maybe that was the person that was in here doing those things. And now that they figured out they can't do that anymore and they won't do it anymore. So, unfortunately, what that means is if you want to join me live on any of the streams I do from here on out, you're going to have to say, hey, Dana, I'd like to join in. If you have a social media account like Facebook, for instance, Facebook tends to be easier, but I know everybody doesn't have a Facebook account, or people may have had a Facebook account in the past and don't now for reasons that are entirely their own, and it's none of my business. But if you do have a Facebook account, I can simply send it to you in a message. That's what I was doing earlier on, and people just clicked on it and they joined me backstage. And um, these were people that I knew from the past, or people that I had had on live streams before. Um, People that were in the chat that I'd gotten to know. They weren't just strangers coming on here. I've heard of people doing other nefarious things. Not all of them, having to do with, showing their private areas. Um, and I'm not being, you know, prejudiced against guys or anything, or discriminatory against guys. I wouldn't want, a woman popping her top or anything and showing her boobs or showing her nether regions. It's just not right. There are other outlets where you can do that kind of stuff, but this is not one of those. So I think I'm preaching to the choir for most anybody that would be in here. Um, and if people are chatting now, I'm seeing people in here, but I'm not seeing anybody chatting just yet. I'm hoping that there's not a glitchy thing with StreamYard and all of a sudden these chat messages will start popping up. But if they do, just bear with me because I guess as more and more people are using StreamYard and could be using it at the same time, there are bound to be glitches along the way. Hopefully, glitches that StreamYard will fix before long. So, anything is possible. I do, however, have the link to the film Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I am using the Blu-ray, the Bueller edition. I do have it queued up about 15 seconds in. The Paramount, a Gulf Western Company logo is showing up on the screen. Hey, Blissful. Um, since you're in here, uh, I was going to test this out. Yeah. Steve said he thought that I could send a private message just to certain people by right clicking on their name, but evidently uh, I cannot. I don't know if there's a way to, yeah. Let me try something here. I may just have to ask Wes if there's a way to do this. Because I really, really, unless it's just for a couple of seconds, if somebody comes in here that I know and I trust, and they say, "Hey, Dana, I want to join live on the stream," I could put the link in there for a few seconds and then take it right down. So, Facebook or Blizzard, you say you think that's only for StreamYard back chat? Okay. I'm not sure what StreamYard back chat is. Blissful. Sorry. Some things are still new to me as far as StreamYard, and some things are old hat. So yeah, I'm not sure what StreamYard back chat is. I haven't a clue. I just know that I have a pro account, which I think is the highest account that you can have. So I mean, yeah, I don't know. You say me either. LOL. Well, let's look that up while we got a few minutes here. Okay, so that has to do with private chat, evidently. Let me look at this. But this is talking about hopping. I don't know. How do I enter StreamYard backstage? Yeah, that's something about hopping. I don't know. How to send a participant a direct message. That's direct message individual studio members. Okay. So evidently you guys can private chat with me, and if long as we have a conversation going. So I guess the question I have for you, Blissful, and you, Blair, since y'all are the ones chatting in here, can you see a people option over on the far right hand side, where you can click on that and then click on me to send me a private message? Because I know these odd people were sending me private messages. So maybe if you guys and gals can tell me that, if you can see that option um, somewhere on the screen. I know you guys and gals are watching it from YouTube. So I don't know exactly how things look on your end. Um, but I know there must be a way because these people were sending me private chat messages. Uh, Leslie, you say only people on panel can do that. Well, I'm wondering how these strangers were sending me private messages, just like the guy told me he was from Denmark. He wasn't on panel yet. Um, but I don't know. I guess I'm gonna have to look more into it. I'm looking at something called support.streamyard.com, and they say click to the people tab on the right hand side of the studio, which I don't even see that. I see private chat, but I don't see people. And this was from a year ago. So I'm completely lost on that. I'm wishing there was yeah, I really wish there was an easier way to just send a private message to somebody in the chat. Hey, Super Batman Nerd. Hey, Russell. Hey, Blair, Blissful. Um, so Blissful does say um, that Ferris Bueller's Day Off is also on Netflix. So there's an option. I think it is also available on Paramount Plus. You can rent it off of Amazon for $3.99. I believe you can also rent it on YouTube for $3.99 too. Um, yeah, I think I remember the Ferris TV show being on, but I don't remember watching it. Um, Blair, you say you're on your phone. I don't think I see it because of that. I don't know if Blissful's on her phone or she's on a tablet or not, but she's not seeing it either. Blissful, you say I remember back in the day they had an option to send private messages on YouTube, but they don't have that anymore. Well, yeah, I'm gonna talk to Wes about it actually because he's been in the StreamYard world longer than I have. Perhaps if Brian comes in here, maybe Brian knows something too. You're on both and you don't see it. Yeah, that's that sucks. Um, the Sewer Baby Nerd, you say it looked awful when I watched it on the DVD. You mean Ferris Bueller? I can't even remember. It's been a long time since I saw it on DVD. I had this Blu-ray edition for a long time, and now I also have a 4K version. I need to get rid of this, but I'm glad I have it now so I could use it for the watch along. Oh, I bet he did, because I mean, either he had to do something like that, or it was a lot of makeup. But you said you heard Charlie Sheen didn't sleep for 3 days for that one scene. Yeah, Bliss. Well, I figured if anybody would know, Brian would know. Oh, the TV show. Yeah. It's hard to get that same magic. I think Clueless had a television show too, and I don't ever remember watching it, but I didn't hear a lot about it. Um, I just think they oughtn't to do that because a lot of times the magic is lost when it transitions from a movie to a television show. Blissful says that was normal for Charlie Sheen. Well, we haven't actually started yet, Russell. I am, however, queued up on the Blu-ray. 15 seconds in, I've got the Paramount, a Gulf Western company, showing up on the screen right now. Super Batman Nerdy said most of these great movies got terrible TV show adaptations. Revenge of the Nerds, Weird Science, yes, yeah, same thing with almost all of them. Um, so Jay, I think, was going to join me. However, he did message me a little bit earlier, about 15 or well, actually, probably about 30 minutes ago, and said that there were probably some bad storms headed his way. And I said, "Don't worry about it, Jay." I said, You stay safe, duck and cover, whatever you need to do. If the storms don't come or they pass early enough, you're welcome to come on if you would like. So I've already sent him the link. If anybody in here, barring it not being 30 seconds before the movie is over, if you want to join in, please let me know, and I will put the link on there for a few seconds to allow you to click on it. But unfortunately, I can no longer have it in there just for everybody to click on it. Thank you, Blissful. Blissful says, please hit the thumbs up. Thank you. Yes, I agree, Russell. Don't mess with classic films. That's exactly right. Now, I'm just going to talk about something real quickly, and then we're going to get to this movie, okay? So, I already told Blissful about this. I messaged her a little bit earlier, but I don't know for sure if she's seen the message I sent. So, I have been monkeying around with different ways of having a second camera when I do my Movie Munchies videos and or live streams. I think I have it all figured out now. And the big test will be when I actually do another one of these Movie Munchies. So what I have figured out is there's something called Camo Studio, which I downloaded on both my computer and got from the Google Play Store and put on my smartphone. Additionally, I am getting a cell phone or smartphone holder. It's going to be clamped in there tight, so it's not going to fall off. It's not going to fall off in the food. It's not going to fall off on the floor and break, because I really don't want to get it broken, because I just got my new phone on Saturday. So I would absolutely cry my eyes out if something happened to it at this time. So I'm going to clamp it in there. It's going to be clamped in tight. It also has a ring light around it. And for those of you that don't know what ring lights are, you can look them up. I'm not going to go into great detail about what they are, but they help with your lighting setup and all that. But excuse me, the thing is, the tablet's webcam will be on me. The other setup where I can just basically clamp this setup to my countertop and adjust the cell phone that's inside the ring light over where I'm mixing up stuff or I'm blending stuff or whatever I'm doing. That's going to be the haunted food cam from now on, unless I run into big snafus. But I tested things out today, and it appeared to work well between my phone and the Camo Studio and being able to add an extra camera in StreamYard. And also no wires or anything. I'm not going to have to use Steve's laptop. Don't have to worry about that. So I'm thinking this is going to be a very viable way to have a second camera for the Movie Munchies videos and live streams. Hey, Darren. Hey, by the way, Darren, just so you don't think I'm not going to watch those two films you want me to review, I started watching Blind Terror from 1971 a little bit earlier. I'm not going to go into big details because I'm going to be reviewing it soon for Darren. But I would just like to say that is one fantastic film. And that's all I'm going to say about it right now. I've got to finish it up. I've got a few more minutes left of it, which I'll probably try to finish up tonight. And then I've also got to watch Wolf Creek for Darren as well. And then I'm going to get with Darren to see if he wants to come in live with me on the stream when I do the review for that. Okay, so in addition to me getting my setup worked out, I'm supposed to be getting the thing to clamp my phone in on Tuesday. So it'll be all ready for me to do a movie munchies this coming weekend. And I think the one I'm going to do a live stream for is going to be a silver shamrock milkshake, basically, or silver shamrock shake. I am going to make one change in it. They suggested using vanilla bean ice cream. I'm not a huge fan of vanilla bean ice cream, so I'm going to get some really good French vanilla ice cream and see how that turns out. Um, you also put this minty vanilla Bailey's Irish cream in there. Now, again, if you're not a drinker of alcohol, then I'm sure there are things that you can substitute for the booze and still make that creamy. I mean, hell, you could put some milk in there and just make yourself a regular kind of milkshake. I mean, nothing says that you can't do it that way. So that'll be my next live stream because the live streams I want to use when I'm doing the quicker ones. The videos will be for the longer ones. And I'm also going to be doing Farmer Vincent's fritters. It takes all kinds of critters to make Farmer Vincent's fritters. So that one will be a pre recorded video, which will turn up on YouTube sometime after I record it. Maybe coffee creamer, you say, Blissful? Yeah, I mean, anything you want to make that creamy. I only said milk because, you could just make it like a regular milkshake if you didn't want to make it boozy, right? Uh, I wish it was chillier here, Blissful. You say we're getting rain from the tropical storm and it's chilly. Blissful, you said you didn't get a chance to listen to my message. I was getting a drummer's headache. I shouldn't have answered the phone. Oh man. Russell, you say I was on a what party last night and it went on till 7 a.m. this morning. Man, Russell, I'm surprised you're still awake, buddy. Did you take a nap at some time today? Super Batman Nerd, you say I listened to this movie up at work earlier. Good choice, Russell. You say until Dana starts the film, I'm watching the Three Stooges. Darren, you say nice. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, definitely. I'll come on. Blissful says, "Oh, yummy." The film I just mentioned, it's Blind Terror from 1971. Russell. It's also known as See No Evil and has Mia Farrow in it. Very, very good film so far, and I don't think it's going to go bad at any time soon. Daggone it, there's a daggone fly back here, and there hadn't been any for a little bit. Well, Russell, you'd be a perfect candidate for making this more of a milkshake. And you could do that. I have no doubt that you could do that. Just put you some either vanilla bean ice cream or French vanilla, like I'm going to use. Put you a little milk in there. Oh, yeah, it would still be good. Put you a little green food coloring in there to make it green. Because remember, this is a silver shamrock milkshake. Blissful, you say, I think they have Bailey's coffee creamer. I'm not sure. They may very well have that too. Okay, so those were some things that I just wanted to bring up before we got this movie started. So again, I am using the Bueller edition Blu-ray that came out a few years ago. I am queued up about 15 seconds in on the Paramount, a Gulf Western Company logo. I'm going to give everybody that's considering watching it tonight and another couple of minutes to get it queued up. You can also watch this on archive.org. I have the link in the chat for that. You can also evidently watch it on Netflix. You can rent or buy it for like you can rent it for $3.99 on Amazon. I believe you can rent or buy it on YouTube probably for $99 as well if you want to rent it there. Super Batman Nerdy say, I think I have that, but on DVD. Well, you can most certainly, if you want to, Super Batman Nerd, use the DVD as well. And I'm sorry if you see me bending down, like I'm eating soup right now. I feel sort of like I'm getting a cold again. I don't know if it's cold or allergy. Science says what it is. I'm trying to stave it off if it is a cold by having some soup. I also have my Prime energy drink. This is Ice Pop or Liberty Pop or Rocket Pop, whatever you want to call it flavor. It's pretty good. So in about another minute, we're going to go ahead and get this movie started. And like I said, if any of you guys and gals decide at any point in time, barring it not being 30 seconds before the movie is over, you can come on here and hang out with me. Like I said, poor Jay, I'm hoping he stays safe. But he's supposed to evidently have some big storms coming, so he may not be able to join me at all tonight. Super Batman Nerd, you say I bought it a few years ago for $5 at Walmart. Yeah, that's not bad at all. So, all right, guys and gals, it is now 7:28. So we're going to do the 3, 2, 1 and press play. We're going to get this party started here. All right. So 3, 2, 1, press play. So we got the Paramount Pictures Presents. We got the radio, giving the weather report and all that. And we're seeing Matthew Broderick's name. One thing I've noticed about many John Hughes films, not all John Hughes films, and this is not a knock on John Hughes at all, but most of the families seem to be well to do in his films, and they usually take place in Chicago as well. I don't know, Darren. It's possible, but poor Jay, he even thought that was gross too. I mean, I think everybody thought it was gross. But you say, Dana, I wonder if that guy you had backstage last night tuned into the wrong stream, was expecting jacking with Jay. I think more along the lines, it was somebody that had tried to get it on here before, and I wouldn't add them because I didn't know who they were, didn't know what their intentions were. And they heard me, I shouldn't have said it because that just gives people ideas. But remember when I said something about I didn't know, so I could get somebody on here and they could unzip their fly or something. So, it could have been somebody thinking, screw you, I'll show you. I'll just go backstage and start jacking off, which essentially is what it certainly looked like they were doing. No, that's okay, Darren. It's better to make light of it than to get all bent out of shape, which I didn't really get bent out of shape. I was just shocked and disturbed. And like I was telling people earlier, I said, I'm still disturbed over it. That's something I never want to see again. Um, and I hate that somebody took it upon themselves to ruin a good thing where I thought that I could just put the link out there and whoever wanted to join backstage could join backstage, but no, a few bad apples have to ruin it for everybody. But so we're figuring out that Ferris is not really sick. He's just wanting a day off. And man, Matthew Broderick, I know he's a lot older now and stuff, but man, he was so cute back then in 1986. I wonder how many kids that didn't try, getting a sick day here and there. After seeing Ferris Bueller's Day Off, I wonder how many kids tried the same stuff that Ferris is either talking about or tried at the beginning of this film. Well, Russell, you're lucky. You say you missed that guy. I mean, I don't think anybody in the chat was able to see this. This guy was just backstage, and only I could see what he was doing. And I kicked him out as soon as I realized. It took me a few seconds to realize what exactly the guy was doing, because I just wasn't focusing. I was like, it looked like the same dude that one other night he got on there, and I didn't allow him on because I could not see who he was. I just saw the camera moving around the room, and I finally just kicked him out. This looked like the same room. Um, and so I don't know what their deal is, but there are not enough hours in the day for me to have to put up with that. And I'm sure back in 1986, everybody just thought Ferris was the coolest. I mean, I still think he's the coolest, right? That's right, Russell. Some people's kids today. I'm sorry. I hope I'm not slurping my soup. And here is the introduction in this movie, anyway, of Ben Stein. And if you watch the behind the scenes stuff, Ben Stein took his interview or whatever very seriously with this. And they told him just to get up there and talk about something he knew about. So he was talking about economics basically. And everybody clapped when he was done. And he thought it was because he did such a good job at teaching them about the whatever he was talking about. And it was like they thought it was so funny. Um, and so we're also getting introduced to Ferris's best friend, Cameron, um, who constantly thinks he's dying, as we can see there. Um, Darren, my finances were all screwed up for a little bit. So I may have missed out on that set because I never got to order it. Um, Now Steve got Blood and Black Lace. Um, but I don't think he's going to get Psycho. So I guess I'm going to have to back up and punt and hope that I can find a copy of it. Sewer Batman Nerd, you say, I caught my nephew pleasuring himself while watching his favorite YouTubers. Oh my. Russell, you think my soup looks yummy? It's actually just some canned Campbell soup. home style chicken noodle. Liz, will you say I skipped so many days in my senior year? Oh, I'm sure a lot of people did. So the mother is Ferris's mother is getting the call from the principal who is saying, "Are you aware that your son is out, out of school?" And she's like, "Yeah, he's very, very sick." And the principal's going on about how he doesn't have an exemplary attendance record. And here is Edie McClurg, who I absolutely love. And you can see her there pulling the pencils out of her hair. I think that might have been something she came up with herself. Russell, I am 9 minutes, 38 seconds in. Ferris's mother is talking to Principal Rooney about Ferris being out sick. Super Batman Nerd, you say, I skipped some school days, but I didn't act like Ferris. I just wanted to watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Married with Children. Yeah, she's good in planes, trains, and automobiles as well. And there she's sniffing the white out too. How many people have sniffed white out? So also, Principal Rooney is seeing that as he's talking to Ferris's mother, the number of days missed is going down. Russell, you say super getting high with our friends instead of school. And I love this because this reminds me so many times of when I was sitting in school and everybody was just freaking bored out of their mind. And the teacher's up there just like being serious as a heart attack about whatever they were talking about. Yes, he was. He was in Beetlejuice. He was also in Howard the Duck as well. That's what you say. My excuse, so many concerts, so little time. I love Ben Stein too, Russell. And this is exactly how I felt and I've been known to fake illnesses too in order to be able to stay home. And like a lot of you guys, like Super Batman Nerd and stuff, I just didn't want to go to school. I just wanted to sit at home and either read or watch movies or watch television shows. Um, my favorite book when I was a kid, and I stayed at home sick, and sometimes I really was sick, and sometimes I wasn't. Um, but was Ramona Quimby age 8 because Ramona got sick in that and got sick and had stomach bug and had to have her mother pick her up from school. Super Batman Nerd, you say, I remembered we made fun of a teacher because every time she would teach us, she'll be looking up at the ceiling. So I think the kid with the curly hair there on the left, he looks like a kid that was in One More Saturday Night, but I don't know if it's the same guy or not. That's right, Super Batman nerd. Christy Swanson was one of the girls in the classroom. I think she was actually supposed to be the character of the girl that was just talking to Ferris and said, "Oh my God, you're dying." Russell, you say, when the teacher wrote on the blackboard and asked who wrote this, we all yelled out, "You did." I think there was a little bit of a smart ass in all of us in school. So I think Edie McClure Clark actually came up with this about the Bloods, the Waste Toys, the Dweebies, the Dickheads. They all adore him. They think he's a righteous dude. And I can't say it like her, but it's just awesome. So now Ferris is wanting Cameron to come over to the house, so that they can, get together and hang out and stuff. He's like, take some Pepto Bismol, get dressed, and come over here. So then he's got to switch calls, and he goes back into fake sick mode because it's his dad. Super Batman Nerdy said, I actually cussed out one of my history teachers for getting on my ass for a tardy. I was never brave enough to cuss out any of my teachers. Russell, you say, I took that from The Wanderers. Love that film. Blissful, you say, I was always late for homeroom, but I made up for it by bringing in coffee for the teacher. LOL. I always love this scene too of Cameron sitting in his car trying to decide if he's going to go over to Ferris's house. He said, he'll keep calling me. He'll keep calling me. And then he said, this is ridiculous. Okay, I'll go. I'll go. I'll go. Sewer Batman Nerdy say, I was late because we just started using locks on our lockers and mine was always unresponsive. Oh, don't I know those days? And here we get the introduction to Mia Sarah Sloan, Ferris's girlfriend, who I think is just absolutely beautiful. We see the school nurse. I don't think we ever had a school nurse when I was in school. And Sloan knows that, Ferris has worked his magic again. He's going to get her out of school. So the nurse thinks that Sloane's father called and said that her grandmother passed. So Grace tells Principal Rooney that she's seen Sloane Peterson with um, Ferris Bueller quite often. So he's like, oh, I know. Ferris Bueller's behind this. And they think this is Sloane's father calling. Hey, Rooster. Yeah, I love those fringe leather jackets too, Blissful. You say, ironically, I was a lot like Cameron in my 30s. So he thinks this is Ferris acting as Sloane's father. And Principal Rooney says, yeah, you just produce a corpse and I'll release Sloane. I want to see this dead grandmother firsthand. And he tells Grace, it's all right, Grace. It's Ferris Bueller. I'm going to set a trap and let him fall into it. So they're getting another phone call and it's Ferris. So Grace is going to freak out because she's thinking, oh my God. Rooster, you said Bueller, 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 Bueller. Yeah, that's exactly right. So she tells Principal Rooney that Ferris Bueller's online too. So now he's thinking, oh shit, I got to talk to Mr. Peterson again. And we find out that Cameron is playing Mr. Peterson. Yeah, I do believe she was, Russell. Hey, Coco. Coco says, hey, gang, and happy Sunday afternoon. And so Ferris was doing the James Bond thing. He was like, Bueller, Ferris Bueller. A rooster, I did. Thank you for asking. I did get my new phone yesterday, and things are a lot better in that department. So Ferris freaks out here where Cameron is saying he wants Sloan outside the school without anybody with her. Ferris freaks out. And so Cameron tries again. He says, I changed my mind. I want you out in front of the school with her. Then Ferris goes ballistic and knocks the phone out of his hand. Yeah, I mean, so far so good. The 23 Ultra has been awesome. Yeah, I was gonna keep the Note 20 for a little while longer, but yeah, the phone had other plans because it just bricked on me. Yes, Coco. I did want to be like Ferris after the first watch. I think I was a little bit older when I saw it for the first time, but 10 is probably a good age because I mean, there's nothing really that inappropriate in this movie. I mean, other than language, but so now Ferris is going to talk Cameron into letting them take his dad's fancy car out. The 1961 Ferrari 250 GT California. And there she is. To which Ferris says, it is his fault he didn't lock the garage. And Cameron's going to freak out here because he knows what's going to happen here. Cameron's like, no, 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 no. And Cameron says, Ferris, he never drives it. He just rubs it with a diaper. And then he said, he's trying to justify this. Cameron, we can't pick up Sloan in your car. Um, Rooney would never buy it. Russell, you said you were 30 when you first saw the film? Yeah, I was probably anywhere in that 12 to 14-year range. And here's teenage logic. Whatever miles we put on will take off. And Cameron's like, well, how do we do that? I drive in reverse. So here is we saw Jennifer Grey earlier, but she's just basically watching all this play out. And at this point in time, she absolutely hates her brother because she says, you know, my brother gets away with everything and I don't get away with shit. Blitzer, you say, I think I watched it when it came out. Coco, you say, we could watch certain movies in my household, but if us kids said shut up or butthole, we got reprimanded. Meanwhile, the adults let the swear words fly. Now, I love my Aunt Pam, but she was even worse than that. She didn't want her kids saying they had to say BM instead of poop. You know, I think she's chilled out a little bit in her later years, but when her kids were younger, it's like you don't say poop, you say BM. You know, I don't know where all this stuff came from with my Aunt Pam because my mom was not like that. My Aunt Sandy wasn't like that. My Aunt Teeny, Christine, she wasn't like that. I don't think my Uncle Bobby was like that. Um, Pam was the only one that was like that. And she also restricted her kids to what they could watch. She also didn't like them saying shut up, even to each other. Yeah, that's why I said, Russell, teenage logic, or what appears to be teenage logic. That scene though, where he's kissing Sloane, and I mean, they're being a little ballsy here, by doing the kissing scene. But Rooney's so dumb that he just says, "So that's how it is in their family." Sir Batman Nerd, you say, I remember my brother slapped me when I said jackass to him. I called my brother a bastard once when we were growing up. I don't remember why I called him that, but I just told my mom that's what he was acting like. Russell, you never heard family members cuss growing up? I did, but I didn't ever think anything of it. My dad didn't really say anything that bad when I was growing up. Shit, damn, son of a bitch occasionally. I didn't hear him say the F word until I was much, much older. And I heard my mom say shit and damn a lot. Um, but yeah, again, nothing really that strong. Super Batman noticed I was talking to him about the show on MTV. Oh man. Coco, you say, Dana, I think there's always a family member like that. And Aunt of mine was so kind, and I couldn't say fart at her house. I had to say fluff. Yeah, I don't think my Aunt Pam liked her kids to say fart either. And you know how when kids get together, young kids, they want to say poop and fart and they giggle about it. Yeah, Pam never wanted that going on. Coco, you say cursing is tacky, and I wouldn't want my children around it, but that's the real world. Yeah, and I totally get that, and I think it's worse now because of again, I'm not trying to get in trouble by saying things, but I think a lot of young people that are parents now, their parenting skills leave, you know, something to be desired, basically. Because I see guys that are dads walking around with their pants hanging below their ass. I hear them, saying really ugly words, and I'm not talking about shit and damn, F this, F that, MF, GD, just all, and screaming and shouting at each other around the kids and stuff. It's terrible parenting. And I know I really don't have room to talk because I don't have any kids myself, but um, I just know what kind of environment I grew up in, and the environment I grew up in, you know, in a in addition to the occasional hearing the word shit or damn, I had a very loving upbringing. And I just can't or don't want to imagine how it's going to turn out for these children now. I agree, Coco. You say fart is still damn hilarious to me. Never grew out of that one. Super Batman Nerd, you say, my sister tries to keep her children from saying, but it's hard when all of us adults let it fly. Well, thank you, Coco. You say you don't have to have kids to have an opinion and or standards. This guy's been on some other stuff too, and he's also on Howard the Duck. Anytime somebody says trust me in a movie, you know you can't trust them, right? Guys and gals, I'm going to step away for just a second and take this pan into the kitchen and grab me some candy because I'm doing a lot of yawning. Ooh, that is cool, Russell. You say going to a watch party for the Monster Squad with Sean Blue Digital at 10. Hey, TJ. TJ says, how you righteous dudes. Hey, X Ray. So, Ferris's mother is coming home on her lunch, and she keeps hearing what Principal Rooney said about 9 times, about Ferris had missed. Now, I don't know any teenager that had an elaborate enough setup like this to make it appear like they were homesick. Yeah, Russell says, I forgot about him and Howard the Duck. Give me the code key, Howard. Extra, you say, just watch Zero Boys with Kelly Maroney. It was decent. Ballsy ending. I still need to watch that one, X-Ray. X-Ray, you say, Jeffrey Jones' best performance was as dad and Mom and Dad Saved the World. That's another one I haven't seen. I don't know. I think this would kind of freak me out to do what they're doing here, where they climb up on the railing and lean forward where their forehead touches the glass. TJ, you say, I don't think Ferris is smart. He probably had the school nerds bill it for him. I could see it that way, X-Ray. You say, honestly, the principal wasn't a bad guy per se. It's just that he went about things the wrong way. Oh, I loved Howard the Duck, Russell. I'm actually going to do a watch along later on. It might be next year before I do it for Howard the Duck. Oh, yeah. Leah Thompson was awesome in that, X-Ray. And I actually, when I met Leah Thompson a few years back at Scarefest, I think it was Scarefest, a lot of people were coming up. I mean, a whole heck of a lot of people were coming up to her with posters for Back to the Future, of course, which she was also great in. But I had a Howard the Duck poster I had her sign. Yeah, the soundtrack is good. Oh man, that would have been cool, X-Ray. They say they had plans to take the fictional band on a national tour, but the movie flopped, so planes were dashed. So Ferris was looking at the names of the people that had reservations, and this guy is acting like a total asshole. And he's and Ferris is saying he's Abe Froman, the Sausage King of Chicago. And both Cameron and Sloan think they're going to get busted. That's right. Ferris's friend Cameron did a curly hand gesture. Yep. Yes, the restaurant scene. This is great. That's what I say now. I weep for the future. And they're telling him, you're going to get busted. And I love this because he says, A, you can never go too far. B, if I'm going to get busted, it's not going to be by a guy like that. So they're setting this guy up for the kill here. And evidently he's got Cameron in on the deal again. And it's Mr. Froman. This is Sergeant Peterson, Chicago Police. X-Ray say, as a kid, I was never big on Star Wars films. I had the toys and shit, but I was much more into other films like Aliens, Big Trouble in Little China, and Howard the Duck. They were cooler. That's interesting, Coco. You say, a part of me wants to know what Ferris will be doing today, and if his kids, I imagine he had a couple, would be as clever, probably hackers. X-Ray, you say, I was never into Disney movies either. I was way more into horror films. Only time I saw Disney in theaters is because my relatives dragged me to that shit. Or in politics or bands. I have never been to a restaurant where there's a guy sitting there waiting to, give you a towel to dry your hands. And, combs there to do your hair. Oh, yeah, Russell. Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein. Actually, you think Cameron was the only likable character of the trio? I don't know. I like Ferris and Sloan as well. But I may be in the minority on that. And this is where she says, little asshole. Or what a little asshole. Now we find out that Ferris's father is going to lunch or went to lunch at the same restaurant that they did. That's right, Russell. He's breaking the fourth wall. Actually, you say, yeah, man, Chicago was really cool in the 1980s, according to the movies anyway. It looks like a cleaner version of Manhattan. I like the Bay in Chicago too, Russell. So they managed to sneak into a cab, and of course, Ferris's dad is none the wiser because another cab pulls up and they actually get in it. TJ, you say, I can relate to the sister. The other siblings get most of the attention and get away with everything. I always felt that my brother got to get away with more stuff because he was the youngest. He was 6 years younger than me. I mean, me and my brother always had a pretty good relationship, and we still do. But I would sometimes get a little jealous of him. So now Principal Rooney is in the local. I guess it's like a pizza place or something. But there appear to be several young kids in here at this point in time, and he thinks that he's got Bueller caught now, or Ferris. He says the game is up. Your ass is mine. And what is the shock? He's going to get the shock of his life here when turns around it's a girl. X-ray, he said Jennifer Grey was a cutie. She should have kept her home nose. And we see that Ferris and Cameron and more than likely Sloan are at a ball game that's being watched in the pizza place. X-ray, you say Rooney needed the janitor from Breakfast Club to tell him to calm the fuck down. Coco, you say Jennifer Grey was so attractive. Sucks that she felt the need to do plastic surgery. Plastic surgery disasters brought it back around to dead Kennedys there. And Ferris says, Cameron, if we'd played by the rules, we'd be in gym right now. And we're seeing the boys having to run. TJ, you say, yeah, X-ray, that's what happens when Hollywood and the public saying that you should look a certain way. Her own nose was fine. Now she looks like any random girl. So now Rooney is showing up outside Ferris's house. So Ferris even has the dang doorbell, set up. That's right, Coco. Rooney looks so rough in the end. Yeah, TJ, Rooney would be in jail in today's society. You say, which is fine by me, LOL. So now Rooney is getting stuck in the mud and he's losing his shoes. No, I agree, TJ. More Edie McClurg, LOL. Never enough of her. Yeah, Russell. Jeffrey Jones did get in trouble for CP. Um, Coco, maybe I need to give it another try. I'll certainly consider that. When Steve and I watched it, we just weren't big fans of it the first time out. Russell, I loved it when his sister kicks him in the head. I wonder if these guys went all over Chicago or they went past Chicago. Uh oh. That's why you don't trespass, Rooney. Because you might come face to face with something like that. I always thought this was a cute little scene here. Because we're eventually going to see Ferris and Sloan and Cameron with the little kids in the museum. Yeah, I know that dog. Welcome back, Super Batman Nerd. I agree, TJ. You say she's great in everything. Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, Carrie, the Pee Wee Herman Show, the Hogan Family on TV, etc. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to run to the restroom too here in a sec, Super Batman Nerd. You say you made some ramen noodles as well? So we're coming up on one of the really fun scenes in this movie. This movie has a ton of them, but the part where Ferris lip syncs to Twist and Shout on the parade float is amazing. No, they don't, Russell. They don't make comedies like this anymore. So we're seeing Cameron gets a funny look on his face here. And we're gonna see why. And Sloan looks and Ferris looks and his dad is looking back at him. And then they hide Ferris and then Sloan's over there. And she starts like being very seductive towards Ferris's father. Coco, you say, I love the parade scene, but there's some funny looking people at that parade. And dog's chewing on Rooney's shoe there. But I am going to run to the restroom myself. And then I shall return, hopefully in time to see the big parade scene. I'll be right back. You've been to a few Wayne Newton shows, Whistle? That's pretty cool. So, yes, Ferris is now singing a Wayne Newton song, but he's soon going to be, or he's lip syncing to it. But then Then he switches into Twist and Shout, which is awesome here. And watching all the people dance. It would be hard to imagine nowadays in today's society people dancing together like this and having a good time. I'm not saying it couldn't be done, but this was a different time and place, and things just don't seem the same. And in some respects, it makes me sad, but in other respects, it makes me happy to see this, to see that it was possible. I know it was a movie, but I do think that the time period was just different. The vernacular was different. And even Ferris's dad sees everybody dancing at the parade. He doesn't know Ferris is there. And those chicks on the float with Ferris are really getting with it. Yeah, I would agree, X-Ray. Blues Brothers, this, Red Heat, The Fury are some great Chicago shot films. And we see that the faculty and staff of the high school has sent flowers to Ferris. Hey, Rooney, you were in that dog's domain. He's calling the dog a little fucker. So he's knocked the dog out with the vase that the flowers are in. Jeannie is back home. Yeah, X-Ray, you say 70 said the best New York City movies, 80 said the best Chicago movies. So she's like, I knew it. But then she's going to come face to face with Rooney here. So, Batman Nerd, you said this past week the neighbor's dog wouldn't stop howling. Sometimes my dog Sammy won't quit howling and barking. Coco, you said, what are you drinking, Dana? Your cans always captivate me. Do a drink shout out already. Actually, I just finished up a Prime energy drink. This is an ice pop one. Ice pop, Liberty pop, rocket pop, whatever you would like to call it. Now I've switched back over to the zero sugar Mountain Dew. Blizzle, you say, I believe Sammy is learning classic rock. Super Batman nerd, you're drinking a Monster sparkling water. I didn't know Monster made sparkling water. That's cool. Coco, you say, Lord of mercy, so many drinks these days. Never seen that, Dana. Actually, we find those at Kroger's around Louisville. That's awesome, Russell. You say I was a child in the '60s, a summer of love. These guys are so funny. So basically, Jeannie's just kicked the shit out of Rooney there, and now she's calling the cops. Ooh, I bet that's good though, Coco. You say I'm drinking a Smirnoff Ice Smash your face off. Super Batman Nerdy say I think Prime was made by or sponsored by Jake Paul. Blissful is drinking. I'm sorry for my voice. It sounds like I'm slurring my words, and I'm really not. I haven't been drinking any alcohol today. But Blissful says she's drinking coffee here, German dark roast. Yeah, evidently you're right on that, Super Batman nerd, and evidently the FDA is asked to investigate those energy drinks. Hopefully, I don't fall over dead drinking this. Coco, you say tasty as all get out, Dana. 8% alcohol. Ooh, homemade cherry Coke sounds good, Russell. Blissful, you say the dark roast coffee has less caffeine. Well, that's a good thing. This is always funny because too. I mean, just because the absurdity of it, but I came here to help restore your pluck because I'm the nurse who likes to. And then she shuts the door, and you can fill in the blanks there. So they have discovered that there are a lot of miles that they need to take off of this damn car. And poor Cameron seems to be almost comatose. Super Batman Nerd, you say, I drank a couple. They was okay. I seen some nice beer for Halloween earlier. Ah, regular Coke added cherry syrup. That seems simple enough. So Ferris is breaking the fourth wall here, and he says Cameron's gonna, if things don't change, he's gonna marry the first woman that he lays, and she's gonna treat him like shit. So uh, I'm guessing they just got into somebody's, pool and hot tub or whatever. So Cameron is slowly looking down at the water, and he just falls face first into the pool. That's interesting, Super Batman Nerd. You say, I find it weird that Coke is the most popular, but Pepsi has America's colors. I love cherry too, Russell. You say fave is cherry vanilla ice cream. I have some Scooperman, not Superman, but Scooperman ice cream from Meyer that has black cherry ice cream in it. Well, so you say you love hot tubs when it's snowing. Oh my gosh, yes, that'd be so nice. You got a soda stream, Russell? That's cool. I love this. Ferris Bueller, you're my hero. So here's where we get to see Charlie Sheen here. Coco, you say Charlie Sheen looks good here? I don't know. One of my devices thinks somebody was talking to it. Yeah, no matter what Charlie Sheen has said and done, in recent years. I still think he was a great actor. I love how she says, "Why don't you blow yourself?" And he just kind of looks down. I love this conversation though that they have. Yeah, I love this whole scene too, Coco. If you say Ferris Bueller, you lose a testicle. So they're trying to, get the miles off, but as we all know, this isn't going to work. Coco, I think Super Batman Nerd is referring to Corey Feldman's declaration that Corey Haim was raped by Charlie Sheen. I'm not going to get into it with anybody on that. I just don't. I respect Corey Feldman as an actor and stuff, but I think Corey Feldman has a lot of problems. And I'm not saying he's lying. I'm just saying I don't know. And I also know that Charlie Sheen, I don't think Charlie Sheen tried to defend himself. Um, but I'm just on the fence about how I feel about that. I don't know Charlie Sheen. I don't know Corey Feldman. I didn't know Corey Haim. And there have been a lot of people that people have said raped Corey Haim when he was a kid. And the only people that know that is Corey Haim and whoever did that to him. Whether it was Charlie Sheen, whether it was somebody else, I don't think we will ever really know. But I think that's what Super Batman Nerd's referring to. Yeah, The Wraith is a good movie too, Russell. I don't know anything about Paul Walker either, Super Batman Nerd. I hadn't heard that. I'm not saying it's not true. Um, but there are a lot of things that a few years back would have been okay. Not a 12-year-old or something and somebody 33 years old, but a 16-year-old and a 33-year-old. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying a few years back, people wouldn't have made as big a deal out of that. Also, Paul Walker's dead, and he is not here to defend himself, unfortunately. So people can pretty much say whatever they want, um, right or wrong, true or untrue. I just saying I don't know. Just because somebody says it, I don't know if it's true or not. Because people can, they can make things up. I've had people say bad things about me that were untrue, and I'm not a famous person. And again, I'm not trying to argue with anybody or anything. I'm just saying I just don't. I simply don't know about all these things. Russell, you say he started because of Corey Haim's death. Why would he lie? Uh, I don't know who you talking about. Corey Feldman? Uh, I don't know. Again, I'm not trying to get in any arguments with people. I just honestly don't know. I'm not Charlie Sheen. I'm not Corey Feldman. I not Corey Haim. I'm just saying I just don't know. Again, I don't want to argue with anybody about it, and I don't want to make anybody upset over it. I'm just saying I honestly don't know. I'm not saying Corey Feldman's lying. I'm saying I don't know what's going on there. Super Batman Nerd, you say some states' age of consent is 16. Russell, you say Paul Walker's first role as a kid in Trumwa's film Monster in the Closet. I've heard of that movie, but never seen it. Well, Russell, again, hon, I don't want to make you mad or anything. I'm just saying I don't know. I honestly don't know. I'm not saying Corey Feldman's lying. I'm saying I don't know. Because I'm not any of those people. He could very well be telling the truth. Um, all I'm saying is Corey Feldman. I respect Corey Feldman as an actor. I just know that over the years, Corey Feldman has mentioned more than one person that possibly could have raped Corey Haim. And Charlie Sheen just seemed to be the latest one that he came out with. I'm not defending Charlie Sheen at all. I'm not defending anybody. I'm just saying I just simply don't know. Um, Coco, you say, Dana, I heard about you, what you do at the county fair. X-ray, you said, man, I'll leave the chat for a bit, come back, and people are arguing about Corey Feldman and shit. No, I'm not arguing X-ray. I just said I don't know. And Russell said, why would Corey Feldman lie about it? And I said, I didn't say he was lying. I'm saying I don't know. I don't know about any of it. Yeah, Russell, that's right. We'll really never know the truth. Um, oh, and Russell, I'm not mad either. I just, sometimes I let my mouth run off, and some people, you're usually pretty cool with it, as far as I've seen, but some people aren't cool with it, and they kind of get mad at me when I say things. What a waste of a car. Uh, Actually, you say Corey Feldman and Charlie Sheen are both confirmed crazy people. I don't have a dog in either race, so who cares? It's just like, uh, oh, shoot, Tom Cruise. I think Tom Cruise is a fantastic actor, but he's crazy as shit with all that Scientology stuff. Oh, Super Batman Nerd Hun, it's fine. Nobody's mad. Russell says he never gets mad. I don't I try my best not to get mad on here, and I'm certainly not mad over that. I just was making sure Russell was cool with it. You didn't do anything wrong. At this point, yeah, blissful, X-ray, perfectly put. Yeah. You don't like Tom Cruise, Russell? I like him as an actor. His personal life is batshit crazy, though. So even the guys at the police station are uh, pulling for Ferris. And so now Jeannie is kissing the guy at the police station. To tell y'all the honest truth, though, out of the two brothers, Emilio Estevez or Charlie Sheen, I was always an Emilio Estevez girl anyway. I've heard that too, Russell, about John Travolta. Again, I don't know. I have no idea. X-ray. People need to stop getting so involved in the lives of celebs and politicians. It's extremely homoerotic. I want to watch entertainment. I don't want to get wrapped up in all of that, the backstory stuff. Um, mainly, yeah, I want to stay out of it. But occasionally I will, and I hope nobody got put off by it. Occasionally I will say, I just don't know. I have no idea. People can say anything they want to. Um, and, a lot of it could be the truth. Some of it could not be the truth. Some of it could be somebody was under the influence of drugs and or alcohol at the time that these things happen. And over time, things may have gotten mixed up. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying one way or the other where something is true or not, or whether somebody's lying or not. I'm just saying I simply don't know because I wasn't there. Um, all I can do is, listen or not listen to the stuff people say. Yeah, Emilio in Judgment Night, Russell. I've seen that. It's been a while. Coco, you say Judgment Night was the shit. Killer soundtrack. The soundtrack was cooler than the movie when I was a teen. Oh yes, Russell. I love Men at Work. That's one of my favorites. So Jeannie still wants her brother to die at this point. Or at least she wants him to get in trouble. Now Ferris is rushing to get home before his parents get home. Super Batman Nerd, you say I used to like Major League just for Charlie Sheen. Not really, Coco. You say I feel like the Ferris watch along has caused chaos in the chat. No, it's really, and I'm not going to say much about this, but really, there hasn't been chaos in the chat since back in June. So this is like small potatoes to me. I don't even feel like it was an issue at all. Oh yeah, Stakeout 1 and 2. Yep. Major League I love too, Blissful. This old woman. That's right, Russell. Wild thing. Super Batman Nerd, you say you watched Euro Call earlier? Well, thank you, sir. Coco, you say it's been fun? Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I hope these things are always fun. Thank you, Russell. I appreciate that. You say it's been a fun stream. So Ferris is continuing to try to make it home in time. Thank you, Bliss. What you say? It's been fun. I haven't watched this in so long. What about Maximum Overdrive, Russell? I I did a comment. I mean, a watch along for it, but I'd be glad to do another one for it. Maybe in a few months we can fit that in. Um, I wouldn't mind doing some of these over again because they are fun films. Yeah, Ferris has good cardio. X-ray. Yeah, Coco, sometimes they are a little livelier. I was supposed to have Jay on, but he was supposed to possibly have some bad storms, and he said he might have to sit this one out. So I told him to, stay safe, duck and cover, all of that. No, I don't think that it's just you. I think some of these have been a little livelier just because sometimes I have other people live on the stream with me, sometimes I don't, and I think it does make them better when I have at least one other person. Jay's too busy doing reps, X-ray. Super Batman Nerd, you say, if there's a movie that I really like, I want to own it on every format. Coco, you say, Dana, I meant that we get a little more lively in the chats. Yeah, well, some of the chats are a little more livelier, but that's okay too. Well, thank you, Russell. I love having you come in here. All of you guys that are in here right now, I really enjoy you being in here. Super Batman Nerd, you say, might be pissy with the Kindle. Well, he may be, doing a duck and cover depending on how bad the storms are. Yeah, X-ray. I agree with that too. You think they're livelier when it's hard. Well, thank you, Coco. You say I honestly kind of like it when it's just you. Russell, you say it's better than being bored. Yeah, well, that's one thing I hope I never do to you guys is bore you. So we just got a few more minutes left to Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and Ferris has made it back home with his sister's help. His sister helped him, get out of trouble with Rooney, basically. X-ray say Daner is in her element when discussing the positive aspects of horror films most people hate. So, yeah, that's one big thing I like about you, Russell. You love horror films, bad or good. Well, thank you, X-Ray. You say, yeah, man, solo Dana rocks. I only tend to watch group streams if it's with Dead Pit or Dead Pit adjacent people. Go, go. You make me laugh. X-Ray, you say, can't wait for the next Jacking It with Jay stream. I think there might be another one coming up soon, X-Ray. So I love when, and a lot of movies don't do this anymore. I love, like, during the credit sequence, we have this extra stuff. So Rooney is looking a little worse for wear here. And the school bus pulls up, and the bus driver's like, "Hey, Mr. Rooney, did you get in a fight?" And he's just wanting her to go on. And then she asks him if he wants a lift. Yeah, Russell's Jay has the occasional show called Jacking It with Jay now. I think he's had one episode of it, and he's probably going to be doing another one upcoming. Yeah, X-Ray, you say you like it. Romero used to do that all the time in his early films. Yeah, it's not, I mean, it's not anything sexually explicit. I think somebody came up that with that Jacking It with Jay, and he it just kind of stuck, and there's nothing sexual going on as far as I know. I think it's just Jay basically chatting with people. Actually, say Jay way overshares the contents of his Kindle. Sewer Batman nerd, you say I Deadpool parody the extra scene. So I love it when Rooney sits next to this kind of creepy girl here who talks about the gummy bears. And she says, saying, I bet you never smelled a real school bus before. And he probably didn't want to. If I remember the school buses back in when I was going to school, or, ugh. And she says they've been in my pocket. They're real warm and soft. And he just kind of takes one and just throws it. And then he sees Rooney eats it. Actually, you say leaving the R and Daner. Movie munchies with Daner. I don't know, X-Ray. Dinner with Daner. I should retitle Movie Munchies. I don't know. I don't know if many people will watch it if it had my name in there. Now, again, he's going to break the fourth wall here for the final scene. He's like, it's over. This was probably more effective when this was in theaters, though, because he's telling people to go home. And so we have officially reached the end of Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Um, and I hope that you guys and gals enjoyed this one. Um, and that nobody got offended by anything that I said in the chat. I don't think anybody did. But I just always like to make sure, because in the past I've made, people upset, and it was never my intention to. And it's never my intention to seem like I'm arguing with people. Again, I'm only in these things to have fun. And so it looks like you guys and gals had fun. And well, thank you, X-Ray. You don't know how much that simple sentence there relieves me, by you saying, Dana, you're one of the least offensive people on here. Because evidently other people think I'm very offensive and inappropriate. So every nice thing that you guys have said, and I'm not fishing for compliments, but any nice thing that you guys have said in here uh, makes me feel a lot better. Thank you, Coco. You say you second that? You say I was offended. I can't find the drink you had here. Super Batman nerd. Nah, I'm too thick skinned to get offended. I honestly don't know. I thought I knew these people, but evidently I did not. So, go figure. I don't know. But I know I talk about it from time to time, and I'm trying to get better at that. I'm trying to just forget about it and move on. But every once in a while it still comes out, and I hope that you guys will bear with me if every once in a while I bring it up again. But I want to thank everybody for coming out and spending some time with me. It was fun going back and watching Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I'm hoping that you guys and gals enjoyed it. Rosie, you say you're I'm never offended to a point. Yeah, and I guess I'm hoping I didn't push it to any point that you would be offended. Um, and I don't think you were. Um, Thank you, Blissful. Blissful says great live, Dana. Coco says no politics as much. Oh man. Thank you, Russell. You say yes, Dana, a great end to a Sunday. Super Batman Nerdy say most people today, I view them like the religious couple from Girlfriend from Hell. But anyway, guys and gals, I'm probably going to have to put the outro back in here because I think my intro and outro got kind of screwed up. So you're agnostic, Russell? Well, agnostic, it doesn't matter if you're agnostic, Baptist, Catholic, Methodist, just Christian. All people are welcome. I'm like the Zelda Rubinstein from Poltergeist saying, "All are welcome, all are welcome." That's how I feel about um, my chats and my streams and stuff like that. Yeah, snake handlers. But anyway, guys and gals, I'm gonna skedaddle on out of here for the night. I will see everyone on the flip side. And oh, before I get off here, and I need to tell Jay about this, I totally forgot, and I'm supposed to be on John Grande's stream this Thursday. So there will not be a Seductive Poison the Resurgence this Thursday, but you can feel free to hop on over to John Grande's channel and catch me hanging out with them, talking about the Evil Dead franchise. It should be fun. Um, you still read the good book. I do occasionally read my Bible, probably not as much as I should. Actually say, Dana, can you say this house is clear? I can't do it like Zelda Rubinstein. Oh man. Good night, Blissful. So I'll see everyone on the flip side. Y'all have a good night. I will see you next time. And I'm gonna try to find my outro to play us out. So good night, everybody.